And Brody Vogel leads off the bottom of the first. That might be a home run. An inside the park home run. No. Vogel's going to stop at third. And the Hawks, Brody Vogel, has let it off with a triple in the gap. I'll tell you what, folks. I'm about 2 minutes away from calling this one a night. I'm telling you, this is a Murphy's Law night right here. As Aiden Cameron steps in. With Vogel at third. Two and one, and that'll score the run. And will they get the runner at first? Yes, they will. But Cameron gets the run home, and it's 1-0 Viera. Craig, I'll tell you, man, this is one of those nights, my friend, where whatever could go wrong most definitely is. Yeah, no, I got 25 of them at the house. It's just, my partner don't know how to leave. Well, it's a long story, but. Got a roster for you, though, buddy. You, yeah. Yeah. There you go, my friend. And I added the freshmen in there as well. All the freshmen that weren't in there. And that's a strikeout to Jensen. So let's get you called up as I was trying to get all of this fixed. Vogel tripled to lead off. Cameron with a sack or RBI, fielder's choice, and then Brady Jensen just struck out, and that brings up Zach Alarashi. Shot up the middle, and that's a base hit by Alarashi. How's you doing, Coach? Good. You ready for football? All right. Coming back, right? You apparently are the only one. Good to see you. Alarashi with a big base hit. And that brings up Dominic Leone. Well, we'll find out how big the hit is. As Leone steps in. Alarashi at first. That's a corner strike. Carter Lee is on deck. Lee, the freshman. Got to be careful with the tripod. That started the evening. Upstairs, 2-1. Yeah, the tripod broke as soon as I got here. And Brett Black and Michelle Leone have done something that just incredible. They have configured this thing that I can't even believe it's working. And that ball is hit deep, and that's going to hit the gap, or will it be hauled in? Hauled in out there. Nice track and haul for the final out, because if that thing gets down, it is definitely trouble. But the Viera Hawks get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the second, 1-0, Viera on top. All right, it'll be coming up for the Melbourne Bulldogs. Gabe Gonzalez, Ty Aldaghi, and Dominic Tamburino, as that is strike 1. Strike 2. Oh, and 2 from Jensen. Jensen throwing BBs to start this one tonight. And that's fouled back to the screen. And the count remains at 0 and 2. This should be Casey Dwyer. Yeah, this is Casey Dwyer. Casey Dwyer, Gabe Gonzalez, and Ty Aldaghi. I don't know why the PA guy said that. Good thing I looked at my scorecard. That one is hung out there, but luckily flied out to the left fielder for out number 1. He hung that curveball, and Dwyer just missed it. And that'll bring up Gabe Gonzalez. He says, PA guy says, and now batting Gabe Gonzalez. Hey, must have been the kind of start for him, too. Gonzalez over 300 this year. Him, Burrows, Ayala, and, of course, Connor leads the team at 365. Jensen, nothing but strikes thus far. That'll miss. Pitch, and that's a hard ground ball, but Slavic slips and grabs it anyway and throws out Gonzalez for out number 2. 5 up, 5 down, and Ty Aldaghi steps in. The Mustangs. The Bulldogs are hitting the ball on the button here. They're hitting it hard. But not finding open area. And that one just misses. 1-0. Just watched that movie the other night. Major League. Just a bit outside. The 2-0 is 3-0. This is the thing that Caden is an outstanding pitcher. You heard his numbers. just a little over a 2-52, 2-1 strikeout margin. That's the proverbial 3-1 strike there. But he can be prone to periods where he gets a little wild. And when that happens, Melbourne's got to be ready for it. And there's a walk. So Ty Aldeghi takes a walk, and Dom Tamburino will step in. And miss. One is 1-2 now. To Dom Tamburino. And the runner goes, and that ball is lofted into right field. And Zach Alarashi hauls it in for the third and final out. The walk does not hurt as we head to the bottom of the second. Score, Viera 1, Melbourne nothing. Always good to see Dan Hancock. As Carter Lee steps in. Lee has 5 plate appearances, 4 official at-bats, and 3 hits and an RBI. So I'd say his debut has been a success for the Viera Hawks, who lead this 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Hawks looking for their 5th straight district championship, their 9th since 2013. Melbourne looking for their 1st district title since 2019. Let me make sure I said that right. 9th district title since 2013. Their 5th district title in a row. And the Bulldogs is 2018. My apologies, 2018. The last time the Bulldogs won a district championship. As Carter Lee has the count full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're going to tell you a little bit about this pitcher on the hill here after this at-bat. That ball is flied into center field as Aldeghi calls and he hauls. As Caden Doherty steps in. Doherty First pitch offering is upstairs for a ball. So on the bump tonight is a young man that has something that's rare to see these days, and he did it not that long ago. And that's a 7-inning no-hitter. Gave up 3 runs, 7 hits. Jacob Hershey did against Sebastian River. Or, I'm sorry, gave up, no runs, no hits. Just a masterful performance in the 7-inning no-hitter. I was talking to somebody before the game, and they said if his control is on and he's 3-1, and that'll be a 1-out walk. If his control is on, and it wasn't in that particular at-bat, if his control is on, he could do that every time out, and that's the key, right? So far this year, Hershey is 2-0 with a 2.47 ERA for manager Jose Soto. Get the camera turned a little bit so we can see the runner at first as well. First pitch offering to Confreda is inside for a ball. Hershey in 22 2/3 innings pitched has allowed 9 hits, 10 runs, 8 of them earned, walked 12, and he struck out 28 this year. That's strike 1, 1-1. What's up, big guy? How are you? Good to see you, man. And it's 2-1. Trey Slavic, the number 9 hitter, is on deck, and Confreda with a piece of that back to the screen. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hershey, not a big lead at first by Doherty. Pitch outside, ball 3. So with 1 out here, 62 stolen bases as a team this year. Viera offensively comes in batting .287, Melbourne .276. And that's fouled back to the screen as Confreda stays alive. Hawks get on base, and the Bulldogs for that matter, about 40% of the time in their at-bats. The thing these two teams struggle with at times is fielding the baseball. Melbourne with 44 errors this year, 936 clip. Viera 34 for a 902 clip. Here's the pitch, and off and running, and that ball is fouled back and out of play, and will stay at 3-2. And popped foul, out of play. As Confreda and Barry Gibb with something in common. They both staying alive. Pitch off and running again, and Confreda, that might bloop in. Nah, good speed out there and left, and they may have a double play at first. No, good speed, go back to the bag. So good speed everywhere. Gets it out and prevents it out. So I thought that was Graham behind the plate. So the long at-bat ends with a fly out to Ty Aldaghi in left field, and Trey Slavic steps in. And there's the emphatic strike 1 call. 0-1. Love Graham. Graham, long time ago. Him and I used to call some ball games together. That's strike 2 on the beautiful looking off-speed curveball there. Oh, no, you can take that down to the dugout. Thank you, though. 0-2. Outside, 1-2. That's a great pitch by Hershey. See if he can make Slavic reach on that. He could not. Vogel, who tripled his last time up, would be next. Curveball is upstairs. So now we're deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with number 10 at the plate. And I believe number 2 on the mound. The 2-2 on its way is low. And it was. That's a good call by Graham McGowan. And it's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That ball is popped sky high. Calling it. And hauling it is Dominic Tamburino for the 3rd and final out. So the Hawks will start with the top of the order. Due up for Melbourne will be 8-9-1. Nolan Keeley, Wyatt Vitava, and Tony Burrows. We head to the top of the 3rd. Viera on top, 1-0. Top of the 3rd. Keeley, Vitava, and Burrows set to do battle with Caden Jensen. As Keeley steps in. Ball 1. Strike 1. That ball is right at Vogel. And again, right on the button. Melbourne hitting it hard. But that's somebody. That's out number 1. Wyatt Vitava steps in. You want to talk about a young man that's just fun to watch play? I'd love to watch him play checkers. I mean, he's just that good of an athlete. That's a strike. Center fielder tonight, and he plays a mean brand of football, that's for sure. I know he's made Jeff Panucci happy the last couple of years with Panucci as the defensive coordinator, now the head coach. And Wyatt Vitava has just been, he's that guy. That's a strike, yes, indeed. And unfortunately, or fortunately, Jensen with the little out-of-the-box dance there thought it was 3 outs, but Vitava gets caught window shopping, and he strikes out looking. And we go back to the top of the lineup with Tony Burrows, who grounded out his last time up. My good friend Craig Bailey is here, so you know it's a big event. I'll be down at Merritt Island on Friday at 1:30. 14 student athletes signing. Ground ball down to the first baseman for the 3rd and final out. Confreda picks it up. Save for the walk. Jensen's been near perfect. We head to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Viera. Go, ready? Bottom of inning number 3 here. Tight one. Two good pitchers on the bump tonight, Jacob Hershey and Caden Jensen. It's Hershey's turn to face the top of the order for Viera. Second time through, first pitch to Vogel, and Vogel lays one to the second baseman, Gonzalez, up and over to first. One pitch, one out. Aiden Cameron will step in. He grounded out to the shortstop his last time up, but it was a run-scoring sacrifice for Aiden Cameron, who has really found his place on this team. And he'll look at strike one at the knees. Fouls that off and out of play. 0-2. Ground ball to second baseman again. And Gonzalez again eats it up. Feeling pretty good about himself out there. Yeah, eating them up like Cookie Monster out there. Brady Jensen steps in, and if this goes 4-3, I'm going home. Jensen struck out his last time up, and Jensen goes that way, but he lines out to the. How about a 4-pitch inning, a 5-pitch inning for Jacob Hershey, and the Hawks go in order 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the fourth, 1-0. Rolling, rolling, rolling. The old baseball wagon's rolling here. It'll be Bryson Ayala, the freshman Bryce Connor, and Casey Dwyer here in the top of the fourth inning. Jensen so far has held the Bulldogs hitless through three. I want to thank Rajanair Health, our fourth inning sponsor. Ayala struck out his last time up. First pitch from Jensen's a curveball high, ball one. And there's a hard shot, and that one gets up the middle. And I've done it again. I have opened my mouth and mentioned the word no hit, and the very next batter strokes one up the middle. That's on me. And Ayala reaches with a leadoff single as the freshman Bryson Connor steps in. I got half the stadium staring me down and the other half applauding me. Jeez, I can't believe I did it. And it's the same pitcher I did it to the last time. And that one is skied high. Confreda, Slavic, nobody with the play there. This poor tripod has had it. It is bungee cord taped and something else. Oh, twisty tied, yeah. On there to make sure we could broadcast for you tonight, courtesy of Brett Black and Michelle Leone. Brett Black from Melbourne and Michelle from swing and a miss. Throw down the second, and the throw was there, but it bounces away. And Ayala with stolen base, and now in scoring position. But this tripod is just a thing of beauty tonight. Connor. Oh, I do stand corrected, by the way. The other day I gave you false information. It's certainly not the first time that's happened. And, well, I'm sorry to say it probably won't be the last. But not on purpose, though. That I can tell you. I said that just the regional finals were best 2 out of 3. It is the regional quarterfinals, the regional semifinals, the regional finals, and the state championships are all 2 out of 3. Yes, indeed. That's why, because everybody's wanting to know why did baseball end 2 weeks before softball, and that's the answer. So if Melbourne can win this game tonight and get paired, swing and a miss, that is a strikeout, and get paired with a lower seeded district champ or a non-district champ, they'll host in the first round. And that's huge when you're talking about 2 out of 3. As Casey Dwyer steps in. Dwyer flied out to the left fielder his last time up. First pitch from Jensen is high and tight, ball one. And the other thing it does, that's a Raven. And the other thing it does is those teams that have just that one ace, yeah, good luck in this. Hit him. Or came close, and Ayala goes down to third, and yeah, it does hit him. So it's an HBP. And now there's runners at the corner with 1 out. And we talked about Jensen's control at times. Seemed to get away from him there with that particular batter as Gabe Gonzalez steps in. Gabe with 2 well-played ground balls in the last half inning steps in now. Feeling it. Actually, so Ayala's going to have to go back to second since that was a dead ball. That's why we were talking the other night on the stolen, young man stole home. And if you're a pitcher in that case, throw the ball and hit the batter. Hit him in the leg or something, but it immediately kills the play, and the runner's got to go back, and there goes Ayala down to third, and there will not be a throw, as now there are runners at second and third with just 1 out. And for Ayala, who leads the team in stolen bases, that's number 18 this year for the Tulane commit. First base is open with one out. Ty Aldagi is on deck. Here's the pitch. Fouled back and out of play, and it's 2-1. He's going to ask for the spray here. Gets it. Wish we had stuff like that back then. You pulled anything like that out of the dugout back in my day, and you were, what are you doing, son? What are you doing? Oh, he gets one deep to right field. Back. Does he get it? Bounces off the wall. 2 runs will score, and on his way to third base with a stand-up 2 RBI triple is Gabe Gonzalez, who got all of that one. And it's 2-1. Ayala scores, Dwyer scores, and up comes Ty Aldagi. Nice piece of hitting. I mean, Gabe Gonzalez crushed that thing. Pitch, and he'll base hit by Ty Aldagi. First pitch swinging. And Melbourne leads it 3-1. Aldagi wasting no time as Gonzalez gets quite the reception back in his dugout. Dom Tamburino steps in with a runner at third or a runner at first. Three runs this inning. And now we'll get another timeout here, as I got a feeling that Jensen goes to the mound, buys the bullpen some time. The pitching coach now going to come out and spend a couple minutes on the mound. That'll buy some more time. He gives up another hit. That's the end of his time. Down to the bullpen goes Jay Fowler. I would imagine there's already somebody down there. I see another catcher down there. I don't know if there's anybody throwing. There may not be anybody throwing. I mean, again, why would there have been? Jensen had looked great coming into this inning. He had not given up a hit, and all of a sudden, he gives up a base hit to Ayala, strikes out Connor, hits Dwyer, and then Gonzalez triples, and then Ty Aldagi takes the first pitch past Brody Vogel for a line drive. But remember, we did say that on the outs previous to this that Melbourne was getting, they were hitting the ball hard. And they was just finding people. Here, they get them through. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Still just one out in the inning. One and one. Runner goes. Throw from Jensen. That's a beaut, Clark. And he is out. That is an absolute beautiful throw by Brady Jensen. And that will get scored 1-4 at home. Nice tag by Slavic. And we are back to 2 out, or up to 2 outs in the inning, I should say. That was just a terrific throw. I would love to know what the pop time is on that. And just like that, the strikeout to Tamburino will end the inning. But not before the Melbourne Bulldogs get 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-1, Melbourne on top. All right, welcome back here. And the Viera Hawks now need to get on their horse. Here is Zach Alarashi will start off the bottom of the fourth inning. Alarashi with a single his last time up. He's got one of the two Viera hits in this game. It'll be Alarashi, Dom Leone, and Carter Lee. And Jacob Hershey now with a 2-run lead here, courtesy of a Gabe Gonzalez triple and a Ty Aldegi single. And that is strike one. And that is strike two. Apologize, I'm fidgeting with the camera here, but got to do some different things tonight to make this thing work because of how I broke it coming in. So, but the good news is I didn't have to go spend $60 down the street at Walmart to go get another one. Brett Black and Michelle Leone helping tremendously with this. And it's 1-2 to Alarashi. Dom Leone on deck. And there's a hard ground ball that's going to get past a diving Bryson IL. And Zach Alarashi continues to stroke the ball well. And he's 2 for 2 today. And Alarashi with a leadoff single as Dom Leone steps on. Dominic Leone steps in. Leone flied out to the center fielder his last time up, in Hershey with a beaut, as that is strike one. And that is strike two. And Hershey filling up the zone with strikes, making Graham McGowan's job an easy one tonight. The 0-2 on its way, and that is lined into the gap. And how far into the gap it goes. And Leone's going to try to stretch this into a double, and he will. And that means there's a runner at second and third now as Alarashi goes all the way around from first to third as Leone with a hustle double. And the Hawks are in business with runners at second and third and nobody out. Carter Lee steps in. Lee flied out to the center fielder his last time up. Pitching coach steps in to talk to Hershey. It's tough to have shutdown innings in high school baseball. It is so tough. And a shutdown inning, for those of you out there that aren't familiar with them, a shutdown inning is essentially when your team scores a run or two, and then you come back in the following inning, and then that team doesn't score any runs. That's called a shutdown inning. Carter steps in, 2 on, nobody out here in the 6A7 District Championship game. Dominic Tamburino at third. Bryson Ayala at short. Gonzalez at second. Gabe Gonzalez, your first baseman, Bryce Connor. Jacob Hershey's first pitch is popped up, and Tamburino given, and Tamburino is going to come down with that, and that's a great out right there, a much-needed out. As Lee will Doherty steps in. Caden Doherty. Doherty walked his last time up. Pitch. And Graham McGowan says strike one, and it certainly was 0-1. Brennan Confreda on deck. That's a beaut, and it's 0-2 to Doherty. Doherty in an 0-2 hole now. Hershey has him at his will. Let's see what he goes with. Let's see if he wastes one or he throws him a strike. Oh, that is absolutely the perfect pitch for the situation. 2 outs. It was a waste pitch that got him to chase everything a pitcher could want on 0-2. And Brennan Confreda steps in, and the senior now with an opportunity here to tie this thing up with 2 outs. Confreda flied out, and there's a shot to Ayala. Scoops it up, and the Melbourne Bulldogs get their shutdown inning. It started a little rough as they had runners at second and third and nobody out and didn't score. We go to the top of the 5th, 3-1, Melbourne. All right, welcome back here. Top of the 5th inning, in Melbourne gets the shutdown inning. Didn't start well for him, but it certainly did end well. And that is a great looking pitch from Jensen. Nolan Keeley, Wyatt Vitava, and Tony Burrows here. And it's 1-2. Back to the screen, and 2-2. We talked about in the preview, 2 keys to this one. Fielding the ball. Both teams are average at best at doing that. And the other thing would be, how would the bottom of the lineup compete? In other words, oh, wow, Graham McGowan rings him up. And Nolan Keeley goes window shopping, gets caught looking. And Wyatt Vitava steps in, who got caught looking his last time up. So the other thing that was going to be the difference in this game would be 6, 7, 8, 9. How would that part of the order compete? And so far, advantage Bulldogs. And that is probably the first issue I have with a strike call right there tonight. Graham with a great strike zone, and that's 0-2, and Jensen is ahead. The 0-2 on its way, and it's upstairs for 1-2. Curveball gets him, and Jensen picks up the strikeout. 2 of them to start the 5th inning. His 7th of the night. Tony Burrows steps in, grounded out twice. First pitch offering is ball 1. Ball 2. Upstairs, Viera did this the other night. Scored early and then didn't score again in the later innings. Outside, ball 4. And Jensen walks Burrows. And Bryson Ayala steps in here. Line score here, 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Melbourne. 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors for Viera. As Michael Rogers comes in to run. Back up a little bit here so we can see the first base and Ayala. Bryson Ayala, if he gets those arms extended on an 85, 90 mile an hour fastball, Bryson Ayala can send that thing into the jet stream. And that's a little nubbler off the top of the bat. Jensen picks it up, throws it to first, and that will end the inning. The walk does not hurt. We head to the bottom. Oh, what? What happened there? Graham McGowan's going to call. I'm thinking somebody wanted to call a foul ball here. That's not a foul ball. This is big because depending what happens after this. I got a feeling this is the message that won't be the happy one to deliver. It's Graham McGowan speaking with Matt Gifford. It's going to be a foul ball here. Yeah, it's not a good call, but it is. I don't know the explanation, so I really can't say one way or the other. But it looked like a fair ball at the end of the bat to me. I don't know. I don't have any idea. Graham knows the game, so if he saw something, he made the call. And Ayala now with a chance to make Viera pay. for the call here. 1 ball, 1 strike. The only thing I can think of is that thing may have bounced foul and then kicked out. I don't know. It's 2 out here, and you got a strike on Ayala. I'm not sure. I get you want to hold Burrow close here, but you could see Caden overthrowing on that. And there's a shot, and it gets past Slavic and around second and on his way to third. Here comes the throw. Safe. And got under the tag. And Melbourne now with runners at first and third and 2 outs. With the big freshman coming up. And here comes Matt Gifford out to have a conversation here. And that conversation, I fear, is going something like this. He's there because you guys blew the last one, but that guy was safe. That's great hustle by Burrows. Graham made Tony got under the tag. And now it's second and third as Ayala goes to second on the throw to third. And a chance here now for the big freshman, Bryce Connor, who has been owned tonight by Caden Jensen. Jensen has struck him out twice. Melbourne with a chance to blow this thing open by 4 here. Curveball is low, 1-1. Big opportunity for the Melbourne Bulldogs RBI leader. And this one won't have the distance, as they say in Major League. And that is hauled in by Brennan Confreda for the third and final out. Almost a lot of controversy. Instead, just a little. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 3-1. Sorry about that. We had a little situation here with trying to get an admin. That's a fly out to right field by Vogel. So Slavic went center, Vogel went right, and that's 2 outs already here in the bottom of the 5th as Aiden Cameron steps in. The umpire at second for first base came over, asked for an admin, and apparently they're throwing a fan out or something. I don't know. I have no idea why the first base umpire is more concerned about what's going on in the stands than what's going on the field. And has the wherewithal to actually know who said what. But hey, what do I know? So, there they are. There they are. Yeah, there you are. Thank you, ma'am. What was the score of the lacrosse game? Oh, no. There we go. Miss Travis has arrived. And not too soon either. And there's a hard ground ball to Gabe Gonzalez. Eats it up and throws it out. Look what has arrived here tonight. The winner tonight will get that right there. There you go. So the championship trophy, and then he got one for the runner-up too. There you go. So that's the prize. All right. A lot of people the other night wanted to know why Brennan Confreda would only pitch 2 2/3 innings in the district semifinals and come out. I mean, he was on fire the other night. Well, here's your reason right now, because Brennan Confreda is your new pitcher, and Brennan has been throwing BBs and darts out there over the last 6 weeks of the season. So you go righty-lefty. So Brennan Confreda takes over on the bump. Confreda this year, 1.62 ERA, 3-3, 30 1/3 innings, 13 hits, 16 runs, 7 of them earned, 16 walks, 46 strikeouts for the senior. As Dwyer steps in, and he looks immediately at a strike. Showed you the district championship trophies up for grabs here tonight. The 0-2, actually. Second strike. It'll be Casey Dwyer, Gabe Gonzalez, and Ty Aldagi set to bat. Confreda rocks, kicks, and fires, and not a chance in the world for Dwyer on that one. And that's strike 3. As Gabe Gonzalez steps in. Gabe, the big triple, 2 RBI triple his last time up. Pitch. And back to the screen. Hey, Mike. All right, welcome back. Sorry about that. I had to have a conversation with Mike Davini of Uberzati. And that ball is skied into center field. And Dominic Leone calls and hauls for out number 2. Sometimes you got to do business. Mike, one of the best. Ty Aldaghi steps in. Aldaghi with a base hit and an RBI. His last time up, he scored Gabe Gonzalez. And Confreda's first pitch is a beaut, and it's 0-1. A hard ground ball. Slavic waits for Fowler to get the first. He does. 3 up, 3 down. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Viera in a 3-1 hole. That's what they're battling for. As Jacob Hershey takes a 4-hitter into the bottom half of the inning here for Melbourne, and he'll face Aiden Cameron, Brady Jensen, and Zach Alarashi. Listen, this is going to be an interesting postseason. 2 out of 3 in the regional quarters, the regional semis, and the regional finals. Brady Jensen steps in. Jensen tonight struck out and flied out, and that's been a corner strike all night. And it's 0-1. Curveball, and Jensen gets into it, and Vitava and his speed gets to it, and that is out number 1. Zach Alarashi steps in. Zach with a good night, and he'll look at an inside strike. 1-1. Same spot, didn't get it. He missed that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Alarashi is 3 for 3 tonight. And Alarashi has found that stroke at the right time. 3 hits tonight for Zach. Dom Leone steps in. Now here's the thing. Does Dom bunt here with 1 out and try to bunt a base hit and get Alarashi down to second? We know Gifford likes to play small ball. No. Goes down the right field line, and that will drop into the 3rd row. 0-1. Jacob Hershey likely done after this one, as Landon Barney or somebody like that will probably come in and try to close it out. But he's got to get out of this first. Alarashi at first. Leone at the plate. the 0-1 on its way. And that ball is driven into left field and hauled in quite nicely by Ty Aldagi for out number 2. And it is Viera now hitting the ball hard, but at somebody. As Carter Lee steps in. Lee will take strike 1 on the corner. Graham has been consistent all night with the call. Pitch. And that one is driven deep into right field, and that gets past the right fielder. Lee around second on his way. And Zach Alarashi's going to score, but Carter Lee stumbles in for a triple, and it's 3-2 as the freshman comes up big. Our third triple of the game. 2 by Viera, 1 by Melbourne. And it's 3-2. And Carter Lee just pulled it down the line. And the right fielder took a shot, Nolan Keeley, and came up a little short. Carter Lee may want to hit the treads at Uberzati, but he gets the third. Upstairs, ball 1 to Caden Doherty. 3-2 now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tying run is at third. Pitch, swing and a miss. And it's 1-1. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Melbourne. 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for Viera. And that is strike 2. You might want to be careful. Those balls come through that net constantly. That's why nobody sits down there. 1-2. 2 outs. Upstairs. So now we're a deuces wild situation. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Turn card pitch on its way from Jacob Hershey to Caden Doherty. Here it comes. Got him! Indeed! Hershey delivers up. And Caden Doherty is just looking as he is struck out to end the 6th. But the Hawks draw a run closer. We head to the top of the 7th, 3-2. Melbourne.
Hello, Space Coast. Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your support of BSN and allowing us to cover your student athletes and come into your home each and every night. Give us a follow on Facebook at Brevard Sports Network, and here's to many more years of top-notch sports coverage right here in Brevard County. Thanks again.
My scoreboard's got Dom Tamburino, Nolan Keeley, and Wyatt Batava due up for the Bulldogs here in the top of the 7th. 3-2, Melbourne on top. They are trying to wrap up their first district championship, I believe, since 2018. There wasn't one in 2020. Might be 2019. Pitch. Melbourne. Viera's won 4 in a row. So that would be 22, or that would be 24, 23, 22, 21. They didn't have one in 20. And I believe Melbourne won in 2019. That is a strike 3. And Nolan Keeley steps in. Nine strikeouts by Melbourne pitching tonight as Nolan Keeley steps in. He struck out looking his last time, and he'll take strike 1 looking again. The pitch. Swung at a ball, 0-2. Bounces in the dirt, and it's 1-2 from Brennan Confreda. The 1-2 on its way is strike 3. 2 up, 2 down. And the number 9 hitter, Wyatt Vitava, steps in. Vitava struck out swinging, struck out looking. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Confreda throwing up darts. That's just missed. Popped up. Slavic calls it and hauls it. And we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Due up for the Viera Hawks. Confreda, Slavic, and Vogel. The Hawks can tie it, win it, or lose it. You know how these things work. This is going to be up to Dominic Tamburino to close out. And right now he's thrown 1 strike in warm-ups. There you go, Dom. Tamburino looking for the save. And it would be a big one. Tamburino this year, 8th appearance. He has not allowed a run. An ERA of 0 this year. He's got to settle down a little bit here, and he'll be just fine for a district championship. Tamburino, 7 innings pitched, 1 run, unearned, 9 walks, 11 strikeouts. Teams are batting just They're not. Brennan Confreda steps in. Let's see if his nerves are calm. Low, ball one. Fouled off, strike one. He's got to throw strikes here. You don't have to strike them out. If you do, great. If you don't, well, let the 8 guys behind you do the job. And nice job by Burrows to frame it, but Graham McGowan doesn't buy it, and it's 2-1. Popped up, and this is not easy, but Aldegi hauls it in. 1 out. And the Melbourne Bulldogs are 2 outs away. Trey Slavic steps in as Dom's first pitch. All night strike, not that time. 1-0. That goes off the leg of Trey, and it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. Tamburino has had a year. Can he finish it off, or at least finish this off in the same fashion? 1-1. Low, 2-1. The ball is lifted down the right field line, but it's going to go foul. And the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter, Trey Slavic. Slavic is popped out to the third baseman and flied out to the center fielder. Big pitch coming here. Tamburino gets the sign. He rocks, kicks, and delivers. And that is a base hit to right field. And Slavic has reached with a 1-out single. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Brody Vogel. Vogel led off the game for the Hawks with a triple. He would ground out and fly out here. And now the Melbourne Bulldogs with 1 out. Strike 1. Outside, great stop by Burrows. The Bulldogs have turned 25 double plays this year. 26 would be the sweetest. 1-1. Slavic with a big, decent lead. Pitch, fouled off, and now it's 2 strikes to the sophomore, Brody Vogel. Aiden Cameron is on deck. Hit him, and he got away from Tamburino, and for some reason, he went with the curveball on 1 and 2, and it never broke, and it hit Vogel in the center of the back, and it's now first and second with 1 out, and Aiden Cameron in, and here comes I know that's not Soto. I don't know who that is. I can't tell from here. How you doing, dear? Good. getting close. Here we go. Let's set the table for you. Vogel was just hit by the pitch. Slavic, who singled, is at second. Aiden Cameron is at the plate. Cameron, I've seen him go yard. In fact, I've seen him get a 3-run home run and go yard. He does that here. It's a district championship 3-run shot. Tamburino, and that's fouled back to the screen for strike one. The nerves get you. It's the thing you don't account for. Tamburino has not given up a run all year. Cameron. 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. And I'm going to tell you what, that's a great eye for a young player in this situation. The 2-1 on its way. Swing and a miss. And it's 2-2. And if you're Burrow, you don't need to come with anything other than that right there. He was way late on it. Burrow kicks, fires. 3-2. Full count. Aiden's got to protect. And Tamburino's got to throw a strike. The full count, 3-2 on its way. Ball 4, and that started as a ball, and it never got close. And now the best hitter in the Viera lineup is at the plate. The play is at home. The play is at home. Or if you can turn 2, turn 2. But you better be sure you're turning 2. Brady Jensen steps in, and it's right there for Melbourne. The finish line is right there. Can they reach it? They can see it, but can they get there? Brady Jensen, the sophomore catcher, is struck out. He has flied out twice. A fly out here ties the game. A base hit could win it. The runner at second is Vogel, and Tamburino can't throw a strike. 1-0. Strike one to Jensen. Slavic at third. Cameron at second. Slavic at third. Vogel at second. And Cameron at first. The pitch, the 1-1. Ground ball in the hole, and that'll tie the game. And Gifford will hold. And we are tied at 3. And the man of the day is at the plate. This is exactly who you want up in Zach Alarashi. Alarashi is 3 for 3 today. 3 for 3. Can Alarashi just get the ball in the air or out of the infield? I mean, I don't even know if I'd say anything to him if I'm Coach Gifford. The guy's 3 for 3. And the entire Melbourne infield is on the bump. We are tied in the bottom of the 7th. 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors for Melbourne. 3 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for the winning run. The district championship winning run is at third. The infield is in. Tamburino. Here we go. The only run that matters is at third. First pitch, and that's a foul ball. Yeah, I hit off of Zach's leg. That's a foul ball. But it is strike one. If they don't get a double play, the Hawks will get two chances at this. Alarashi, 3 for 3 on the day. Tamburino inside, 1-1. Ground ball, and the Viera Hawks have won their fifth straight district championship. Zach Alarashi, 4 for 4, and the district championship winning walk-off hit. Brody Vogel scores it. Viera, 5 straight. How about the game from Zach Alarashi? What a game. That'll wrap it up. 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors for Melbourne. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error, with two of them in the bottom of the 7th. Once again, your final score. The Viera Hawks walk off a district championship win as they beat the Melbourne Bulldogs 4-3. Our player of the game tonight, our Uberzadi player of the game tonight, Zach Alarashi. Have a great night, everybody. We'll keep you posted on whether or not we can find a spot.